Good. We have that. So, I want all of you to think through. We are all being influenced each and every single day, and we are all trying to do some influence each and every single day. It's interesting. Dina and I are in a deal right now, and we oftentimes talk about just what is the structure of this, what is really going on when it comes to speaking to the potential buyer, or better yet, with the client themselves who's actually listing their property with you. And oftentimes they're going to say, let's go higher because we want to leave room to negotiate down. Or you're going to be trying to get somebody, whether it's somebody in your office or a client, to actually do something. All of us are ultimately selling. Today's meeting is a conversation about just what you're doing to influence. This is going on to a larger plan, which I've declared the month of June 10x month. So this month, and it should be every month, your goal should be to try and do 10 times the volume. Now, is that possible? Possibly not. But I believe the effort is the destination. That's what's really kind of exciting about all of this, is that you're able to think through and by just trying and by just putting it out there, if you get twice the amount of business, you've still won. So what I want to do is open it up here in the Art of Persuasion. Who here knows somebody on a national level, a famous person per se, that is that's highly influential? Who listens to somebody who wants to throw somebody out there that they think is highly influential, that has a high persuasion factor? This could be anyone in the news. It doesn't have to be real estate related. None of you want to answer first. So before I pick on Dina, who doesn't like to get picked on, but I'll do it. Oh, Livette. I love Livette. I haven't met the woman in person, but boy, she's always like, go ahead, Livette, tell us.
This lady that I just came across, she's an author, she's an artist. Her name is Princella the Queenmaker, and she has a very controversial message, but she's a big influencer and she has a large following of women.
Okay. So, but it's interesting. Controversy sells, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It's unfortunate depending upon what side you're on.
Yeah.
But controversy certainly sells. So, and when you say a large following, how large a following does she have?
I'm not sure.
If you had to guess.
Well, she's a social media, so probably maybe a few 100,000 across all of her platforms.
Okay.
So she's not in the millions yet, but her message is getting out there.
Let me rephrase it. And this is for anyone to jump in on. Who has someone that they have a hard time saying no to? Whether it be a kid or somebody. Okay, Dina, thank God. I knew we were going to. Dina, tell everyone who you are and where you are. And you got to unmute.
I am Dina Ulrich in Delray Beach, and I have a lot of people, unfortunately, that I have a hard time saying no to. But Ed is my number one person I have a hard time saying no to. But my mom, my kids, I don't know. I'm not a big social media person. Like for me, those kinds of influencers are not as much, but clients, and actually, which is a really truthfully, like not, joking around, clients, I have a very hard time saying no. That's too. Sometimes when people, will ask you to do ridiculous things, and we have all been asked to do ridiculous things at times, I have a hard time saying no, and I really should learn how to say no more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Remember, I think it was a verse, and God said to the devil said to God, can you create a rock that's so big that you can't even lift it? Talk about a dilemma. Talk about a dilemma at that point that really, and I think a lot of us go through that. And again, I'm not one to quote verses, but I've always kind of liked that. That you've got a situation where, if you're a people pleaser, show of hands, how many people would consider themselves a people pleaser? Okay, yeah, that's okay. Samantha raised her hand. No surprise there. She's very, very nice. We got a bunch of. Here's the thing: the people pleasers are the ones that are going to be the most influenced. I'm not necessarily. I don't want to piss anybody off, because you might say, "Oh, damn, that's right." Many people who are the people pleasers. So if you want to have the power of influence, If you want to be influential over someone, one of the first things you should do is discuss what is the actual target that you're trying to have influence over. If you know somebody is a people pleaser, well, right from the get-go, you've got a force that's working on your side. Now, since most people are actually that, why do you suppose people immediately hang up on a cold call?
They sound nervous. They don't sound sure of themselves.
Okay. Because the cold call doesn't sound sure of themselves?
Well, the caller, the person that's calling, they just kind of, I hang up with people all the time that don't sound.
Good.
Yeah, I do.
Would you consider yourself a people person?
No, well, no, absolutely not. I take pride on standing on my boundaries.
Okay, good. So that's something that's important to recognize. I'm going to get back to you in a second about that.
I think I know.
Go ahead, Jen, go ahead. You got your hands up. You're all excited. And you got to unmute, Jen. Or you're unmuted. Okay, sorry.
I think I know where you were going with that. You're
Go ahead.
saying they hang up because they're afraid they'll get snagged in and won't be able to say no.
When you see someone that puts the signs up that says no soliciting, private property, stay out, do all this, what they're really doing, and all the psychologists are agreeing on this, is they need to put that barrier because they know that they are so weak, or that they have that weakness. And again, I don't mean weakness in such a critical sense. What I mean is that they know where their vulnerabilities are. Now, how can you use this as a salesperson? Anybody want to give a guess? And by the way, I don't want all of you to think of me as some conniving, manipulative jackass by the end of this whole thing, except for maybe some of you. That's fine. But for most of you, I just want to demonstrate how this is a technique that people use on a regular basis. And anybody ever wonder why scams actually exist? How could somebody like Bernie Madoff actually exist? I want to throw that out to anybody. The guy that stole $50 billion.
He had credibility.
He had credibility. He leveraged the credibility. Let's talk about that for a minute. Livette, what do you do to build credibility? I'm going to get Livette, I'm going to get Jen, I'm going to get Dina, and I'm going to get Andy. Livette, starting with you, what can you do to build credibility?
So one, just kind of knowing, just having insight on the business, staying up to date on things.
Okay, Livette's the sharp antenna. The sharp antenna, I guess nobody uses antennas anymore, but she's getting the signal. That's good. Okay, that's one. Jen, what do you do?
Well, in my brand, I'm trying really hard to build it slow and build a lot of trust.
Okay.
Be honest about, like in my area, we have this North and Scottsdale sort of battle. And North Scottsdale people, realtors, constantly like snag in our stuff in their advertising, even though they don't like us.
Okay.
So I don't want to do that. I mean, I want to be the South Scottsdale girl that, even though it's a little rougher down here, a little older, we have the history, we have the mid-century mod architecture. We also have strip clubs and gun shops, but we like it down here. Like I'm really staying with my niche and my brand and being honest.
Okay. So honesty is good. We're going to talk about the honesty in a second here. Dina, it's hiding. Oh, there she is. Hi.
I needed to text a client for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay. So we'll get back to Andy. Let me pick on Andy for a second while Dina does her.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you going to do to build credibility? Let's talk about that with the people that matter.
I think credibility people think you're credible if you are very consistent in what you do. You say what you're going to do. You have a call, you call them exactly at that time. You're not a minute late. You're, just being really knowledgeable about what's going on in the marketplace. Make sure that you're, constantly following up with your prospects. And like I said, just being professional and being on time and all of that.
Sure. So the product's got to work.
Right.
Right. I mean, in other words, if you are the product, it's actually got to work. Again, persuasion. Have you found yourself more persuasive? I'm not done with you, Andy. This is for Andy. Have you found yourself more persuasive to some than of others? And give me an example of when you think you persuaded someone where you might not have before.
I think I've persuaded people when, I guess, it seems like everyone wants what they can't have, right? So I find that if people are hemming and hawing, which I'm dealing with right now, the dealer I was telling about the other day, once they see there's other interest, they're all over it. So I kind of find by sort of not making up lies, but sort of, letting them know, like, look, this could go, this one's interested. I think that really helps with the persuasion.
Sure.
And also taking your, obviously they all want to know, we want to make the money, we're all about the deals, but letting them know we don't really care, like making it like we're not too desperate for it. Almost game playing a little bit.
How many times do you follow up?
For me, I follow up a lot. I mean, but it actually depends. It depends what I'm dealing with. Like when someone has an offer and I'm waiting to hear from them, and if it's not in writing, so they don't have a time, they have, and I know that they want it, I won't follow up quickly unless I know someone else is trying to get that property. So it really varies.
Okay. So when I mean follow up with a listing appointment, for example.
Oh, with the listing appointment.
Yeah, I mean, a listing buyer, whatever it might, with the people that you want to have influence over, how many times do you follow up?
I honestly don't know. Consistently, I don't know. It varies depending upon who it is and what the situation is. And I don't really have.
So let me take it a step further here.
Okay.
Who follows up more than 3 times when it comes to making a sales call? Be honest. Okay, Livette, I believe Livette. That's tough here. Okay, who follows up 5 times? Okay, how many people want to have a guess as to how many times, in order to have influence, the scientists say you need to say? Okay, Andy, go ahead.
I feel like it's like 8 or something crazy like that. Right?
8. Something crazy like that.
8 yeah, I do 10 times before I give up.
It takes 8 times. And here's the thing, and I'm going to find the article and get it off to you guys, because it was a sociological study, actually. And they found that people got 62% of what they were actually following. For the people that didn't respond immediately, they got 62% at 7 follow-ups. On the 8th one, it shot up by about 30 points of what they were going to get. People get off the trolley too soon. You might be getting off the trolley too soon when it comes to the actual art of persuasion. So let's recap this. Aside from having the message and aside from knowing the audience, it's the velocity and the volume of times that you're actually keeping up with people in order to have that kind of influence. Here's the other thing. Who actually is more receptive to perhaps a sale if you make the call to the person in the first place? You see the world's greatest widget on television and you want to buy that widget and you make the call and then you get some influential salesperson. Isn't it true that you're going to be more likely to buy it because you actually went to them? Does anyone disagree with that? Feel free. I'm a big boy. We could argue it here if you want. Okay, so here's the thing. How do you get your client to come to you? If we all agree that there's going to be more influence when somebody actually approaches you, how do you actually get them to approach you? Somebody, before I pick on Hedika, she doesn't want to be picked on. I could see that that's not it. Who's got it? Brooke? Eitan? Somebody. Don't make me dance. Okay, Livette. Thank God we got a Livette. Like my best friend.
I was going to say maybe putting out content, things like that.
Okay, tell us about it. What do you mean?
I know a lot of times when I do TikTok videos or social media posts, I also send out daily text blasts to my neighborhood, things like that. So I'm always getting people to reach out to me. Okay,
that's good. And you do a lot on TikTok?
I need to do more. I slowed down. At one point I was doing really good. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So I did a TikTok. I'm very happy to say it's had 16,000 runs since yesterday. And if you follow me on TikTok, which I encourage you to do, that's where I'm more silly with the TikTok, but the TikTok that I put up, my wife's a professional organizer. And one of the things that I like to do with her, you know, these are the rules of marriage. I go into the fridge and I turn one of the Coke cans around so that you don't see the label of the Coke can the way she wants it shown. And that really, like, that's kind of like how we can, it's a fucked up marriage. I don't know what it is. We do some.
Show it.
I got to pull it up on the screen here. Eitan, do you have it?
No, but it's worth showing.
Okay, I'm just not, you know me, Eitan.
A lady was on live,
Yeah.
and she
I don't
said
know.
that
Hold on. I'm not going to be able to pull it up here. Let me just see here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
You said TikTok or Instagram?
It's on both. It's on both. So here, let's I'm trying to show it to you guys here.
I'm looking for it too.
Yeah, no, it's there. I mean,
What?
this is the Instagram, but
so that's
There
the
we go.
outcome. Note to self, please don't piss off your wife, especially when it comes to her work.
hold on, here we go.
Okay, so the outcome, she blew a gasket. I cannot make a video of her work in this house, and the fridge wasn't good enough, and I was wrong, and I need to learn my lesson, and I'm no longer allowed to make videos in the fridge. So that's the outcome. Note to self, please don't piss off your wife, especially when it comes to her work.
Okay, so that was just something. Now, the original video, the first one actually showed what was done. What actually took place there? 16,000 views on TikTok in 24 hours because people love that stuff. Now, what does that have to do with influence? Everything. What we're really trying to do is give people the kind of content that they're going to want to be drawn
By the
to.
way, it was very, very, very funny.
It was, yeah, that was the secondary one. It was funny. It's still on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok if you want. Again, I'm not a huge TikToker. In fact, I really don't believe that much in the platform compared to the other ones. But that said, the power of influence is going to be the power in getting people to actually follow, like, and believe you. So starting from the most basic stuff, if you actually have a level of credibility, you start with a level of trust. Now, where does the trust actually break down? I found that I've not been the #1 guy within my country club. And I've asked a few people about why, after all these years, did they start doing business with me when they started. And one of them said something extremely telling, and I think this applies to each and every one of you. Ed, I think of you as a really good guy, but I never really looked at you as a realtor. How do you like that? It hurts in a way. It really does. But you know what? Here's the thing. It was true. It was true. And it was the greatest feedback that I could have ever gotten from these. There's a group of people here that looked at me, funny guy, nice guy, didn't see me as a realtor. How are you actually caring for your brand when it comes to folks that are out there? I'm trying to get a dialogue with everybody here. So if you guys want to chime in, I'd love, okay, Dina.
It took you a second to remember my name. You're
Yeah,
like,
I'm like the AI.
No,
I
actually, I think I have the same issue in my own community that I think people probably see me more as a friend. So one of the things that I do like to do is what I am passionate about is in my personal life, not my real estate life, is tennis. But I always make sure that I step up to a leadership position in the tennis community. We're a big tennis community. I am on the tennis committee, which is sort of who oversees everything in the community. I am captain of my team. So at least I don't want to give up my whole social life. It's something that's important to me and I like it. But I try and make sure that people see me as a serious person, not just as, their buddy who they go to lunch with. So that's how I try and steer my image a little bit in the community. So but I do agree. I think that there is one woman in my community who is very well known. And I'm always amazed. I don't even know how people know her because she doesn't do anything. She never comes to a single social event. She doesn't do anything in the community other than sell real estate. So I guess that's how she handles her brand, is that they only know her as somebody who sells real estate.
Okay. Any thoughts on that? I like what you do. Let me ask you this, Dean. Are you more liked than she is? Be honest here. I mean,
Probably, honestly, but maybe she doesn't care.
look, here's the thing. I've got a competitor. He's going to go nameless, but the name rhymes with. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I've got a competitor here, and universally, everyone says, "Oh, he's such an asshole. He's such an asshole." But yet, why does he get the listings? Because he's their asshole. He's their guy that's going to actually get the job done. So just remember that sometimes you don't even need to be. I mean, it's contrary to what we were saying here. The brand actually matters. And we're going to be talking more and more about that. I am curious to hear about any of you who've had experience in this. Eddie, if you want to chime in. Laura in Brooklyn, if you want to chime in. I'd love to hear from Tammy or Terry Robinson. You know, if you want to chime in on the whole notion of influence and what you're actually doing. Terry, can I pick on you?
Pick on me like a scab.
Okay. Well, gross. Okay, we'll go with that for a minute. I just burped up a little vomit. I'm sorry. So Terry, we look at you and we see Brooklyn. That's really, you know, you've carried that on for a very, very long time. You know, how do you think you're seen in the marketplace when it comes to selling?
As the guy who knows all of Brooklyn. A lot of agents, Brooklyn would be the fourth largest city in the United States if it was its own city. So a lot of agents just focus on specific parts of it. Brownstone, Brooklyn is where the price points out. So that's where a lot of us do a lot of our work. But I make a point of championing emerging neighborhoods. I was in Bed-Stuy long before I probably should have been, because that just is where I get juiced about neighborhoods that I feel will be up and coming. So I feel like I laid groundwork by being the Brooklyn expert, by going into neighborhoods before other people do. Not taking away from doing business in Brooklyn Heights and Park Slope and the neighborhoods that, you know, Williamsburg, that have always been important, but knowing where I can take you as the first time buyer, being priced out of your current neighborhood where you're renting, where you can go to another neighborhood and still have a quality of life. I combine things to do that. I do a lot of video. I do mailings. I've got an event this afternoon that I'm going to go to.
And you do not do deals in Manhattan ever.
Oh, sure. Please, it's Manhattan. I'll do deals.
It was a leading question. I knew that you did deals in that. But the point is this, that because a lot of you will say to me, okay, why does he want to just be the Brooklyn guy? Does that preclude him from doing it? No, but I've got to stop and think, like, you're really a person that jumps to mind. And I think with so many people, Terry, what % of your business comes from other realtors, would you say, over the last couple of years?
30, 40%.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that's in the brand. And that's,
and I'll tell you why. Because at first I was annoyed about this when I first got into real estate, is Manhattan agents like, oh, Brooklyn. And at first I was like, well, screw you. And then I'm like, no. If you feel that way, you can't cross the East River, which is an estuary, that's only 1,000 feet wide, to come and do business. Well, then send it to me.
Of course.
And happily do that for you.
Don't
expect me to reciprocate if I get business in Manhattan, because it's business in Manhattan. But I feel like, okay, you be silly and not do business. You don't want to sell a $5 million brownstone? Okay, I will. I'll do that for you. You know, And by changing that sensibility, I feel like I've opened myself up to be a lot more accommodating to those Manhattan agents.
See that? Very good. But the brand is there. And despite the fact that you can still do it, I sell country clubs. Does that mean I don't want to hear from you about your condo needs in East Spoke? Of course I do. And that's why I've got a team. You know, that's why we're actually doing this. The brand matters. So the power of influence, the brand, who you are, the frequency, how many times you're actually following up. Make note of this, guys. The brand, who you are, the amount of times that you're actually following up, the vehicle, how are you actually communicating to the people when it comes to the power of influence? Somebody, Jen's thinking about it. She scratched her chin. Okay, I'm just trying to get this out of somebody here.
Video. I'm having trouble putting my face on my videos and really talking at the camera. That's just, my God, it's so hard.
It's hard
No.
because emotionally, or hard like because you can't operate the camera?
I'm still just a Montana farm girl and I'm new in this business. So I don't know what to say. I sound like an idiot.
No, you don't.
Hold on. Terry's going to lead the group hug at the end. This is going to be fun. Go ahead, Terry.
Be yourself. You are
Yes.
the only you that there is. Everybody else is homogenous and boring as all get out. You have a unique perspective on this that is worth hearing. Make mistakes, stumble over words, laugh at yourself. People find that endearing, not stupid.
Yes.
We all feel like, my nose is too big or my ears stick out or whatever foible you may have about yourself is wrong. No, it's not. It's the thing that makes you you. Revel in that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. People will.
You see, you made Eitan happy. That's good. Listen, you know,
Well, because of his ears.
What, Terry?
Because his ears sticking out.
If you really do follow a plan, you're going to do very, very well. And again, despite the fact, I know all of you look at me and you just say, wow, that guy really has his shit put together and he's so handsome. This does not happen by accident, okay? This has to be planned. This is something that, okay, sorry. I just had to screw around with that for a second. The Art of Persuasion theory, there are 3 ways to persuade: the means, the persuasion. This is Kenny Bellini. This is a book. Let's just do this briefly because
this is more than a book. This is Aristotle is basically the first salesman. If you guys look at this, you have to sell somebody in 3 ways. That's why the neurolinguistics is a 3-part system. Okay, you got to get your brand and image out there, which is ethos, which is ethics, right? That's what that stands for in Greek. And then you have the second one you have is the emotional pathos. That's why, Chris Voss talks about emotional empathy. That's so you have to touch the person on an emotional level and connect with it. And that's where a lot of people make the mistake. And then the third one is logic, the facts, right? You have all the logic and the data. And people are divided those different ways. So I could give you a whole 30 minutes on this thing and it'll blow your mind. And not right now. But you could actually, there's ways you could tell by what words they use, even which way that they need information. So a lot of people are data driven. You got those analytical ones. You got to give them data. Some people want the brand and image, your whole recognition, and those are important. But if you don't hit on the empathy, you could get those other ones. But you got to connect with that person on an emotional level, or it's going nowhere. So if you cover all 3, but I could show you how to find out. I mean, I could look at each one of you and tell you what you need.
Contact Kenny if you want to hear about it. And Daniel, if you could if you look the book up and put it up in the chat, that would be great. Also, anyone see the movie The Invention of Lying by Ricky Gervais with Ricky Gervais? Did anyone see that film?
That what I put up is not a book; it's a theory by Aristotle.
It was a. Okay, thank you. So any supporting articles we could try and put up there as well. The Invention of Lying by with Ricky Gervais. It was a great film that was a total sleeper. I really don't know why. Jennifer Gardner was in it. Ricky Gervais. Just the cast was phenomenal. And what happened with Ricky Gervais? What was the main thing? He told something that is not. Very Shakespearean, right? He told something that was not. He was the first person to actually tell a lie. And guess what? The whole world believed him because no one's ever thought or considered lying. And he made billions of dollars and he did everything because it just never occurred to anyone. And the story of the movie really was, people say you don't lie. Bullshit. We're constantly lying. We're constantly lying. If I ever walk up to you and say, hey, do these jeans make my ass look big? Please say, no, Ed, your ass makes your ass look big, not the jeans. Don't blame the jeans. We're constantly in a process of lying. And I think if you take a look at that, I think it's worth seeing the movie. A, I like the movie, but B, I think that it's an interesting concept when it comes to living. Who else? What else we have here? Anyone? Okay, just a couple things. On Friday, we're having another session. We're going to be talking about enhancing listings with AI. There's a whole set of new tools that are out there. That's it. I wake up in the middle of the night saying, I wonder if we could do it this way. And guess what? Many times we can. That's 1. 2, we are now rolling out an affiliate marketing program. So if you know of people that you think would like to join, sign up for coaching or join Rain Nation, we could give you an affiliate link. And that affiliate link is, you could sign up for that affiliate link. And then every time that person comes in, or when they actually get charged, you will get a percentage of that person's participation in Rain Nation. So if you think you know a lot of brokers, if you think you know a lot of people that would like to join, we would like to give you the affiliate link. Eitan, maybe you could put the affiliate link out there. We also have it on the website. And Laura you could, hi. Laura in Brooklyn, raising your hand. Was that a mistake?
Yes, it was a mistake. Sorry.
Oh, nope, you got to talk now.
Oh, as you can see, I'm Laura Marquardt. I'm in Brooklyn. Actually, I'm in Connecticut, but I'm based in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. How, everything well?
Everything is well.
Good.
I am a solo agent for the first time. And yeah, things are good.
Good, 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 good. Okay, so Friday, 12 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be doing this with all the enhancing your listings with AI. It's going to be really good. I hope you can make it. And the affiliate program, and Eitan or Daniel's going to put the link to the affiliate program in the chat for all of you to see. What else? Before we get to wants, needs, and brags, who else has something to say about this very important topic? If you'd like to set up a meeting to talk about the whole 10X program and to be able to actually get yourself in gear, I think it's really, really important that you stop and make a plan for growth. Too many of you are doing what you always do, and subsequently you get what you always get. I'm trying to shake it up a little bit and to make it a little bit more pronounced, if you will. So that's that. Thank you. Okay, we got the Aristotle thing put up here, and we got the portal program with portal spelled wrong. And all that's great. Anyone else? Wants, needs, and brags. This is the time to want, need, or brag about something. It's a great opportunity to be able to tell us something that you've done. Maybe you got a new listing. Maybe there is somebody that gave you a lead. Maybe there's a charity that you're involved in. We'd love to hear about all of it, provided it's not a hate group. We want to help you promote that. So who's got something they want, who's got something they need, and who's got something they want to brag about? Samantha Gorenstein, hey.
Hi, I'll go ahead and brag for a minute. So my recent college graduate got his first job, which, thank you, which we're totally excited about. And he's moving to Charlotte, North Carolina in 3 weeks. So if any of you out there have any knowledge of Charlotte, North Carolina, I'd love to hear it.
I live in Charlotte.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Leslie Mitchell.
Hey, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. Okay, Leslie, can I reach out to you after this? Maybe we can talk for a few minutes.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And you're getting the kid off the payroll. I love that.
Oh, the best. Let's hope.
So good. Yeah. You know, go crazy being an empty nester. Who else? See, that wasn't so hard.
In about 2 weeks, I'm putting on a piece of property, amazing piece of property in Malibu, 76 acres for 5.5 million. It's got waterfalls, everything. I've presented it to one buyer right now. They passed. I've got 2 others. And if they don't take it, it's going on the market. So if someone wants to call me.
76 acres?
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
Did you get out there with a big 10-gallon hat, point at and say,
you could build 2 estates on it. We got plans for 1 house.
Hold on, I'm in the middle of an anecdote here. Watch. Okay. As far as the eye can see, mine. That's the sales pitch. How do you like that, Ken?
Good. I could send. I got a slide deck on it too. So,
Levette.
So I did get a listing this week. Got it under contract very quickly. The seller did not want to pay a commission, but I did end up negotiating for him to pay at least 1% commission. And I think I told you all before that I had won a contest last year, the best of agent in Norfolk. So I was nominated again. So I'm running again.
Okay.
So voting doesn't end to the end of the month. So I'll let you know if I win.
Okay. Voting doesn't end. So can anybody vote?
Yeah.
So why don't you put the vote up here? We'll vote for you.
Okay, I'll drop the
I mean,
link.
I don't know what it all means, it's at that point, but that's kind of cool. Like, what the heck? I don't know anyone else. I might as well vote for you. You seem perfectly nice. Yeah, Vivette, have you've never murdered anyone with an axe, right?
No, but I do carry a machete in my car.
Okay, so there you have it. That's good. You know what? We're batting 500. I like you. I like you. Okay, we're gonna vote for Vivette. We like Vivette. I also want to share something with all of you. If you haven't gotten your information to Daniel, you can see we've got this great website. Oh, we got this. It's a Google map that was made, and we'll go. Oh, we have someone in Lisbon. Let's take a look at that. No, it's none other than Eitan Ben Zeno. We gotta take the space away from the Ben and the Zeno. But okay, so you got everyone's information. You could then see from around the planet here. And if you want to find out about the different agents, I'm a very visual person, so you could actually see who's actively in Rain Nation right here. And it is on the link. And Daniel has put that link up a couple times. Eitan, if you could throw the affiliate link up again as well. So we have that. Who else? Wants, needs, and brags. Anyone? Okay. Well, guys, it's always good to see you. I sincerely hope that you could make it on Friday. We've got all this going on. If you want to, again, talk about what you need to do to begin to 10x your business, it really is a matter of adding stuff and getting rid of stuff. Getting rid of the stuff that's actually wasting your time, getting certain people out of your life that are real time sucks. You've got to defend it unapologetically. So just remember that. We could talk about that. If you want to have a one-on-one, do let me know. And if you're curious about the affiliate program, we really would love to speak with you about that. And Terry.
What?
Terry, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Knowing that Terry's ready makes me want to say, it really is great seeing all of you. It sure is good having you every week at this meeting. And I look forward to seeing all of you next week for another exciting episode of
Rain Nation.
Okay. Love that. Okay, guys. Listen, great to see everybody. We're going to be posting some of the pictures from Daniel's vacation. He just had a great time in Japan. So I'm going to be putting that up on the Rain Nation page as well. Great guy. Get to know Daniel. He's really the one running the show here. If you really want to help your career out, all you have to do is send the guy an email saying, welcome home, Daniel. Daniel at Bogan Homes is a great guy, and he's somebody to actually know. Get to know Eitan. He's the guy that's running the technology behind Rain Nation. So when something screws up, blame him. I'm just kidding. And I look forward to seeing all of you next time for another episode of Rain Nation. Thanks so much.
Bye.